Today we're chopping it up with the one and only Anabella Jimenez, one of the top producers, and what a great representation she is to the whole community. Time to chop it up with the one and only Anabella Jimenez. Welcome to Anabella Jimenez. How are you doing today?
Hey, Jesus. Great. I'm excited.
Are you?
First time, yeah.
Yeah, right? So
Finally.
there you go. Real quick, I mean, it's interesting. I've known you for several years. I think from afar. I think you were with Intero, right? At one point.
Yeah.
That's how I remember. Like,
Really? From
like,
Intero?
well, because you would always see like the rankings and things like that. So I kind of knew about you back then. And then fast forward, I got to know you very well. You did a tremendous first quarter, by the way. Congratulations on
Thank you.
that. How are you doing? Where business wise? Like, how do you feel you're doing today?
Business-wise, it's interesting because I was having that conversation with my coach, and believe it or not, when you hear all of the talks and all of the negativity, it's in 20 years, going on 21 years, this is probably my strongest quarter ever.
Awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy in the fact that, I mean, I see it in this way from my perspective. It's you see other people saying they're struggling or they're finally getting into rhythm. But yet someone like yourself, you're off to the races, right?
Yeah, and I think because in the last 3 years, I honestly, and you know me, I've yet to see a challenge. I have not seen a challenge. That's why more than ever, if anything, the last 5 years, what they've taught me, it's all about mindset.
Yeah.
Because I have not seen, I mean, and anybody that knows me with my masterminds, everyone, I said, you know what, I just don't see it.
Is that and I know you talked about mindset, and I'll touch on that real quick. Where do you think that began?
The mindset?
Yeah. Is it something like from when you were maybe in your youth? Is it something that you've learned as now that you've been in the business, mentorship? Like, where do you think that started?
The mindset, I think it's all instilled very early on. I mean, you have to believe that anything you want to accomplish, you can. It's just a matter of deciding, hey, I want to do this. But more in real estate, I think it takes business maturity, and it's combined from my coaching, developing the business maturity to accept things that, you know, you can change. And sometimes it's just conditions, sometimes things that you just have to accept. So it's a combination, and knowing and trusting the process. As long as you show up every day, you get the job done. That's all you could do.
Is that something you think a lot of people don't do? Trust the process?
Yeah. I think because you always second guess yourself, because you're always looking for that magic pill, the solution. You're always looking for someone to give you the answer, and the answer is always from within. If you apply yourself, you show up every day, you do what you're supposed to do, you know,
Then
things happen.
Then yeah, that's right.
No matter, it's you could be doing something over here, and then you're going to get something over here. You know, it's
just like you said earlier before we started this.
Yeah.
Something happened, and but yeah, look at you. You're still positive attitude. You took it with stride, and I was just telling you, like, damn, really? And you're like, yeah, but look, don't worry about it. Like, you shook it off, right?
Yeah. Because I think it's a blessing. I mean, believe it or not, good things or bad things happen for a reason. It's either a blessing or a lesson. So
That's. I wish a lot of realtors thought that way, and unfortunately, there's a lot. I mean, people in general, right? You said it right. Prior to real estate, what did you do?
I was a letter carrier for, it's funny because I know we've had this conversation in the past. Since I was little, I remember seeing the letter carriers, and I would tell my mom, you know what, I want to be a letter carrier one day. And she's like, you're crazy. You should do real estate, because back then she used to buy a lot of businesses, buildings, and I was her
wow.
translator. From very early on, 7 years old, 8 years old, I remember translating the forms, and everybody that knows me, you know, I was always with her. So she says, oh my gosh, you have the total personality to do this. She saw this even back then, which is why I got my real estate license. Not something that I wanted to do. It's something that I did for my mom, and then it was just a bypass, and I just started doing it.
What's your mom's name? Since we're talking about her, I don't want
My mom's name?
Yeah.
Okay, well, everybody knows her as Letty, but her name's Dionisia. Was Dionisia. Yeah, she passed away. Yeah, 2016.
great seed that she planted in you, right? It's like now you see the fruit.
Exactly.
So, thanks to her, you've blessed so many other families now when it comes to real estate. And one, you have a lot of people that you've actually helped them achieve their first purchase. And I don't know how many people under your belt that you've helped them sell, and then they bought their future, which is now they consider home, right? So thanks to your mom for actually planting that good seed, and now it's giving fruit. So
thank you.
Shout out to her.
Thank you.
Do you still remember your first transaction?
My very first transaction, yes.
Yeah?
Very first transaction, I remember that's when fake it till you make it. I mean, it's like...
What did you do?
And now, no, because it's like when realtors send me offers nowadays, towards the end of the transaction, they tell me, hey, this was my very first transaction. I'm like, I knew. You tend to know, but I was blessed to work with an amazing, it was Limon. Remember, he was at Remax on Florence Avenue. His last name was Limon.
Wait, was he a broker?
What was his name? And I'm sure I can find it. I'll find
Was he
the
a
name.
broker there, or
I think he was a broker.
I know that little shopping center.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so I remember, just doing the transaction. He would tell me, "Oh yeah, you need to do this." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm working on it." "Oh yeah, I'm working on it." So I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, it's just you just fake it till you make it, But I read a lot, read, and and got it closed. So.
Was it a buyer?
It was a buyer.
Buyer.
It was a buyer on 113th Street in LA.
You still remember, right? So you went from being a mail carrier, and what triggered saying, okay, I'm going to go out into real estate?
What triggered I'm going to go into real estate? Well, what happened was I was left the post office early that day. I had to go pick up the kids. For some reason, they had closed the 710 freeway, and I was stuck on Atlantic Avenue, which was
going southbound?
Going northbound.
Oh, coming.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I had just passed Florence. I was on Atlantic Avenue, and that's where a better service used to be, which is when I started, it was Rainbow Properties, Century 21 Rainbow Properties. So I was stuck there for, 45 minutes.
Traffic.
Yeah, 45. I kid you not. It was like a sign of the time. So I said, you know what? It read, and sign up for classes. So I said, okay, I'll go ahead and sign up. I did. I passed it within 3 months. I had my license. And then I just started doing real estate.
Did you do it full time? You started part time?
No, I did it full time. When I got my broker's license. That's the sign. My real estate license. That day I quit. I called and I quit, and so I started the classes in January, and I got licensed in May.
Oh wow!
So
okay.
It was fast.
Awesome.
And then from May to December, my first year, and you can correct me, look up my numbers, I closed, I think, 13 deals. And it was just from straight door knocking.
Well, you get that background, the blessing from being a mail carrier.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go back and knock on the same doors that you were actually...
Yeah. Just because it's a blessing. I mean, you think
They
our
already
work
knew you,
is
right?
hard? No,
No?
because most people really don't see you. And I was only there 6 years, so I didn't really have a route. So it's not like I was consistent with the same people. So it's...
I'll tell you something that it's passed down to me, something from my mom. So every mail carrier that comes through our house, I find myself doing this now, right? And it's interesting, right? Those habits. Ever since I can remember as a kid, we hand them a water.
Oh.
Yeah, and so now all the mail, they always look for my mom. And so there's been times I'm home, and if my mom's not home, she's running her errand. I need to go get them a water.
You're going to make me cry. My mom used to own a restaurant. It was Tio Pepe's here in East LA. And it's funny because the same thing, the letter carriers that would go by her route, by the restaurant, she always fed them lunch. And she always, whatever they wanted for lunch, drinks, water, they just went in. And it was funny because one day I was off and I just saw the letter carrier go to the back. I said, Mom, I go, what's up with that? Just went in there, grabbed a soda, refrigerator, then ordered the food and then walked out. And I was like, what's up with that? And she's like, Mija, because you're out there every day and I hope someone will take care of you the way I'm taking care of them.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, that was a story.
That's
to
the
my
story
heart.
behind my mom.
Yeah.
Because my mom always says they're the ones that are actually handing us the mail.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it's hot or cold, you always have to offer water. And water is something that we could get for free. And so year to date, I find myself giving them a water. And if we have a Gatorade or something, I'm like, I try to go out there and, okay, do you want the Gatorade with the water? And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, no, we just want the water. But you'll be surprised. They'll take the Gatorade, or if there's any snacks, my mom will give them like an orange, or because they can only carry so much. You guys they have a lot of mail on
The
them.
satchel. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. But we
So-
can always come back with. You can leave a full lunch. They can always come back with the car and.
Oh, my
Yeah.
mom's fat, though, believe me. It's
Yeah.
interesting. So that's I wanted to share that story with you because now I have that habit of with my mom.
No, it is.
Yeah.
It just means so much. I mean, when you're out there, I mean, you're just because think about it. Whether it's raining, whether it's windy, anthrax,
Todo.
anything, we're
Yeah.
out there delivering mail every piece every day,
That's
even
true.
if it means till midnight.
That's true. Where are you from? I mean, your background. I
So
know
like
we-
a gang or something.
I know,
Am I
right?
being jumped into a gang or something?
I gotta love your sense of humor. Like, where are we? Who banging
Where
here?
are you from?
Yeah, where's your
Not wearing my
background?
Cortez. No hoops.
Where's your back? Where are you from? And I mean, are you born here? Born in where?
No, I was born here, born and raised in East LA.
Okay.
And it's funny because again, I fall into this company because I was actually born in Monterey Park, raised in East LA. So we have, you know how we have our 3 offices. So one of our offices, the one on Beverly and Garfield,
Yeah.
we would always drive by there. And my mom says, "See, this is where you're supposed to work. This is where."
Really?
So she picked that office for me. It was handpicked.
Wow.
Yeah. She
Talk
never
a-
got to see me work there, but it was
Talk about
handpicked.
declaring.
Yeah.
Talk about declaring. Like, this is where my
Uh-huh.
daughter's gonna work at.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So did you go to Roosevelt or Garfield or any of those high schools?
Yeah,
Since-
I went to 4th Street Elementary, which is just down the street,
Okay.
and Griffith Middle School, and then Garfield High School.
So you're a bulldog.
Hmm.
Wow. So I'm
Now
assuming.
that explains my personality, huh?
I actually
took
went
it
to
too
Roosevelt
seriously.
for 1 semester.
Really?
Yeah.
What brought you to Roosevelt? Because you're from Southgate, no?
No. South Central.
Oh, okay.
LA. I like to call it LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there for 1 semester, and then I was returned back to LA.
Well, Roosevelt is kind of rich, right? Because they have the pool, and
I-
so it's upper scale
I
compared
don't-
to the South Central.
Oh yeah, we got no pool. They had no pool over there.
No.
Yeah, it was like that. The Rough Riders, right?
Yeah.
So did you ever attend any classic games? Do you still? No, you're not into that. You're like past that. Do you have a favorite? Because I know you have. I know you love football.
1 second, Jesus. The battery.
Ándale, pues.
You don't have the connection directly to the camera.
I do. It's up there. Everything's up there. I know we could do it.
This is why I always connect the cameras. Like this one I have it correct because might tell you the battery is full, but when it's rolling, sometimes it dies fast.
So how much of it did we lose?
2 seconds.
Oh, you're
Oh, they caught it
good.
quick.
You're good.
Well, yeah, because it turned off right there.
Yeah. So,
It turns off right away.
so from now on, we're gonna connect it to the directly while we're filming.
You're very good at this. You're very natural.
Am I? Thank you.
Yeah, no, you are. You're very
You guys forget there's cameras when you're talking.
yeah.
It's just like-
No, but he's very good at asking questions. Like he makes you feel very comfortable. There's
Ah,
people when
thank
they're
you.
talking to you and they're like, I was like, really?
How many minutes were we in? Like 10?
We're 15 right now. So,
Then it felt like 5 minutes.
No, 25. Like no. That's
No,
once we
yeah.
get rolling.
Yeah.
We're gonna assume we're at. I'll tell you when we're at 50.
Yeah, but I know we were at football. Right? We're at football. You tell me when to start.
Go.
It's interesting. I would imagine you went to those
Classics?
classics. Never
No.
attended. And you're a football fan.
I am, but only by default. By default, because of my son.
Nice.
He's a big Rams fan. He never, true story, he never watched cartoons. He's not one to watch a movie. He can't sit still. But yet, he can watch ESPN all day. I mean, it's like any
He's
football.
just a sports fan.
Just a sports fan overall. I mean, hot dog eating contest, whatever it is. What is it? Cricket, whatever. Any type of sport.
Okay.
That's what he watches. But early on, I remember he was maybe about 3-4 years old, and he just wanted to watch the Rams.
Really?
And you know, my husband Miguel, he's not into sports. I'm not into sports, so it's just funny how it's like almost he had it instilled in him. So very early on, I mean, all he would want for Christmas is just to go watch the Rams.
Wow.
So we would go fly to Ram Stadium. You know, when they're back in Missouri, we would we bought the tickets to when they were in Mexico City, and then we would go to Arizona because I think they would at the Cardinal Stadium.
Mhm.
That's where we would go watch them. So this was, I mean, he was maybe 7, 8 years old, and we were doing this. I mean, that's all he would do. Never
Wow.
watch cartoons, never watched a movie. That's the only thing he would sit still for. So it's only logical that, when the Rams came to LA, we bought the season tickets. And then lo and behold, years later, he had a baby boy. So it's Ramsey.
Ramsey.
Yeah.
Yeah, cute little one. I see him
Uh-huh.
on.
It's so cute. And it's so cute. And it's so crazy how you can have a passion for something. And like, for example, the Rams, and it's reciprocated. They sent him recently, last Thanksgiving, they sent him a football. Rams did. Thanking Ramsey for being a fan. I was like,
Wow.
what? Yeah, it's so
Full
cute.
circle, right?
I know, it's full circle.
It's interesting
yeah.
how this business allows you to do so many things, right? Is there been one transaction that sticks out to you where, like, wow, this one was just meaningful? Maybe it was a difficult one, or it was just one of those like, man, I really want to help this family out.
A transaction that sticks out? No, because each transaction, believe it or not, is dear to my heart, and I think that's why I've been so successful at closing the transactions.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even think of a cancellation. Why? Because each transaction, I take it as if it was my own. This is my money. This is my dream, and I'm gonna make it happen.
There you go.
So yeah, I just, that's why I said there's nothing that does stick out. I mean, it's just each transaction is very special in its own unique way.
I noticed. I can't say that I hear about it because I actually got to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
There was an offer that got submitted, and you took it upon yourself to. I remember you told the agent, "Ponte pilas."
Right. Remember?
And but it was interesting because you have to be the listing agent, right? There's this character, there's this DNA of being a listing agent. But then I noticed your site, like, even though you see everything through email, strong, very correct, right? Very professional.
Mm-hmm.
But yet on the site said, hey, ponte pilas, this is the way you got to do it. I'm going to help you. I'm going to have to guide you. But I think a lot of agents lack that.
Yeah.
And I noticed that you do that to the agents that are just also coming up. Why is that?
I think it's part of the process. I mean, when we started, I remember who were my mentors, who helped me out, and without them, I wouldn't be where I am. So I've been blessed to have worked with amazing mentors. So I take it, it's almost, it's a role we're in, right? It's a position that we're given. So now at the point I'm in, it's like I'm able to help. These 20 years of experience, I bring them to the table because that's why, think about it, because that's why the sellers are hiring you, because of the experience you bring to the table. So now it's my job to make sure to let these newer agents that are bringing the offer, let them borrow my experience so that we can have a successful transaction and get it closed.
That's true.
So
And
teamwork.
Yeah, and you've been, I mean, how many people can say it, but I think, I don't know if it was during the pandemic or after, I don't remember the year, but
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing you. How was it to actually be called and say, hey, we're going to fly you out to Vegas and you're with Mike Ferry?
Oh my gosh.
How was that?
That was a dream come true.
Really?
I'm telling you, like you said, this industry allows you to fulfill so many dreams. I mean, think about it. To have an organization like Mike Ferry that has hundreds and thousands of realtors, and to receive a call to say they're going to fly you in to do the scripts.
I mean, out of all the realtors that are in the nation, right? And
no, because it's worldwide. I mean, think about it. They
You're
have
right.
realtors in Mexico,
Spain.
France, Spain, Russia, the United States. I mean,
Canada.
everywhere. Canada.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it's just, I mean, it's
and
only,
you
yeah.
get picked, right?
Yeah,
It's
it was
like
only,
you-
I mean, it was, seriously, I think it was maybe
it's not like
10
winning
of
a
us.
lottery. You got handpicked. Like,
Yeah.
we want to bring
Yeah.
Anabella in.
And it was like 10 of us.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I think I didn't know you back then.
No.
I didn't know you, but again, because of the perception and because you know when you recognize somebody that's
Mhm.
always producing. I remember seeing you. I'm like, damn, that's pretty cool. Then
Yeah,
I
'cause
met
I posted that
you.
picture. Yeah.
Yeah,
that
I
was
met
pretty
you,
cool.
and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. We had lunch once,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know if it was you or something, and you said let's role play, and then I asked you want to role play, and you're like, let's go,
Sure.
and then you're like, yeah, sure, and I'm like, to me, it's like someone that plays basketball, right? Anybody wants to do a pickup game, and I remember like, I'm like, man, because I just remember that video. I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna role play, let me role play against you. And someone recently asked me, true story. I don't know if I told you this. Do you think there's anyone better than you role playing? I said no. And then they looked at me. I said, well, you have to have the confidence, because if I say yes, then what am I here for? But I did say, I said, someone I could go toe to toe, and I've had a bad, like, then you have to have the confidence. I'm pretty sure you'll say the same thing. I'm like, Anabella's up there, man. You slip, she's gonna whip you if you're gonna role play against her. And they're like, really? I said, man, she's sharp. Like, have you ever role played with someone and say, wow, they're good? Besides Mike Ferry.
You. That's why I said I took on the challenge. Very few people. I mean, we were out to lunch, and I said it's that window of opportunity that you're never gonna get. So I figured, I mean, it's like you're always supposed to be sharpening your skills, right? So I figured, I mean, who better than to do it with you? Because this is what you do day in and day out. It's like if Kobe gives you an opportunity to, like, take the shot, I'm going to take the shot. Because I might not become a professional NBA player, but I'm going to learn a pointer or two, and it's going to make me a better person. And it's also going to, I mean, imagine what confidence it's going to give you, like you wanted to role play with me.
I remember I had that opportunity, and I did see it that way. Because I never really, I mean, when was the last time we talked? I think I'd be in a new of you.
Yeah.
And I think you just said, let's role play. Well, let's role play. And then we just started role playing. And you're like, mira, este sí sabe, este cabrón sí sabe.
I know I did. I mean, it's like I take very few, like, for example, with you, I've done it with Tony Smith, with JJ. You know, when I see someone like, oh my gosh, like, okay, this is my opportunity. I mean, think about it. There's no scripts in front of you. I mean, what better way?
Yeah.
We're surrounded by everyone, and it's like, okay, let's do it.
That's true. And I've seen you role play in front of people. And I remember there was one incident when you said you're just not being realistic. And I agreed.
Yeah.
I stepped in. I said, let's not role play something that's not realistic. And you looked at me like.
Well, it's the same thing when we're out with the consumer. I mean, sometimes you're going to get a person that, you know, it's like no matter what you say, you're not going to convince them. So there's no point of me sitting here. It's like at that point you have to respectfully say, you know what, you know, I'm sorry, you know, I couldn't fulfill your needs, and you know, at this point, you know, it's best, you know, I wish you the best of luck, and
you walk out. Yeah.
Same thing. I mean, it's role play.
You just said you got a listing. Were they interviewing agents from the East Coast? Somebody from the East Coast?
Oh yeah, I got I was on my way to Valle de Guadalupe. I got a call, and I was like, that's strange. So it was an agent he himself is an agent. So he had just bought the home. He was planning to relocate to the West Coast. So he bought a property. So he was interviewing agents that day. And he said, I know as a realtor, I have to interview at least 5 or 7 agents. I said, great. I said, so what number am I? He's like, you're the very first one, but you're the only one that picked up the phone. I said, perfect. So I went ahead, and the point of being scripted, because what's an opportunity? Right? Or what's the definition of, what is it, luck or opportunity? What is it?
I've heard it in a way where you don't create your luck. It's the opportunity, because you sharpen your skills every single day.
Yeah.
That's the way
opportunity meets skill, right?
Yeah.
And preparation. There you go.
Yeah.
Preparation.
Thank you.
So anyhow, so I went through the motion. I did the CMA on the road. I did everything. By the time we were done, maybe it took a couple of hours. And then he said, you know what? I don't know how I was so blessed to find you. Very first shot. He goes, so let's go ahead and do it. And I asked him, I said, so what's it going to take for you to sign the contract? He says, you know what? You're right. Let's just do it. And this was a realtor, and he was.
Check out the script right there. What's it going to take?
Yeah. For you to sign the contract.
For you to sign the contract. And a lot of people don't ask that question.
Yeah. And he said, well, I'm going to interview other agents. I said, okay, perfect. So I went back and I prepared the CMA, and I sat with him, you know, within a couple of hours via Zoom, send him everything. And I guess, you know, he must have been impressed, because he asked me questions. Then when we got off the phone, I said, okay, I sent it to you DocuSign. If you feel comfortable and confident that I can get the job done, go ahead and sign it. And he went and said, okay, he said, let's do it. So
boom.
But if you don't ask,
if you don't ASK, you don't GT, right? I know you started off with a bang. How do you see yourself ending 2024?
How do I see myself ending 2024? It's funny, because every year I do a letter, and I see myself ending 2024 with I think more of a validation. If anything, it's like my marking close to my quarter of a century as being a realtor. But I survived COVID. I survived the market crash of 2009, 2010. Survived this year with the commissions and all. And I just see myself like a validation of, you know what, I can do this.
If it's two things you want to grow in, what would they be?
If there's what?
Two things you could grow in or excel, what would they be?
Two things if I could grow in or excel would be it's a hard question because that's something I'm reviewing this week. I'm trying to figure out each part of the systems, and I'm trying to get myself to at an 8 or a 10. So where would I grow? That's hard. That's hard because I find myself working in all areas. So
Yeah, because we had a conversation yesterday, and I think the way I took it was you're fine tuning all your systems,
everything all at once.
all at once, and then you even said, you know what, I need just this little bit of accountability because I'm tuning everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow,
A lifeline.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you did say that, the lifeline. And so that's why I was asking you like that question. It's just because of the conversation we just had yesterday. I can't wait to see where you're going to be at the end of the 2024. Not just on a personal level, but in the finance, where you're going to add. I'm for sure you're already going to pass that Centurion level.
Yeah.
But I got to start asking.
That's crazy because what's the Centurion this year?
I think they dropped it to 280, 285.
280. I'm pretty much did it the first quarter.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm pretty
who
much
could
done.
say that?
Yeah.
I mean, again, who can say that? Well, you can. And I think that's a big reason on why a lot of people ask you questions. It speaks for yourself as a person, as an individual, as a team leader, as a mom, as a family member, I'm pretty sure, as a spouse, as the wife, all that, you wrap it all that. It speaks volumes of your character, and you're not stopping. Because the conversation, you're like, I'm not stopping. It's like you're all in, right?
Yeah.
I mean, tip my hat off to you. I gotta ask you these questions, like
Sure.
rapid fire, right? Rapid fire. It's gonna be not even
So what's rapid fire? I just answer in one or like just
I'm just
quick,
starting
whatever comes to mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I know
Oh,
I'm gonna
wow.
I already know the answer to this, but I know if they don't know, who's your favorite artist musically?
Oh wow! Seriously?
Well, a lot of people don't know. Remember?
I know. Okay. Let's start now.
So check this out. Who's your favorite artist when it comes to music?
Los Bookies.
And if you don't know by now, now you know. If you ever want to get send her something for her birthday, send her a T-shirt of those bookies. There it is.
They're doing their residency in
Vegas.
Are you going?
I hope I am. I know they're going to be there when it's the MFO. So the goal is to attend. So I know you're going to be there. I think you already got tickets.
Yeah, the very first day.
I'm pretty sure you did.
That's a groupie.
That's cool. One place you would like to visit?
One place I would love to visit would be maybe Japan.
Oh. I think we're going there next year.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I don't think. I should have rephrased that. They'll kill me if they say I think. We're going next year.
Oh nice.
The Dodgers, I think, rumor has it that they're doing the opening game in Japan.
I would do that.
So yeah, they already told me we're going.
Oh wow. I would totally do that. Yeah.
Japan.
So I'll see you there.
Yeah. One person you would have loved to, anyone present, past, you would love to meet if you already had the opportunity to meet, and why?
A person I would have loved to meet was probably JFK.
Oh.
First, I don't know why. It's just a fascination. You know how you always have fascination with, since I was little. I've always read his books and I just have fascination with that. I've had fascination with the men who built America.
The show?
Yeah, remember there was a series, The Men Who Built America.
I love
so
that
it's
show.
just that's
love
one
that
of my
show.
favorite. Yeah, but JFK, like
JFK.
without a heartbeat.
Nice. Is it because of the way he dressed? Because he
No.
was a handsome man. Like,
No, not that. It's just I feel
I
like
just gotta
he
ask that
was-
question, right?
No, it's one of those things where it's just something there's something that always
like that
intrigues
aura.
you, that aura, that energy, like something. Yeah. Like,
JFK.
yeah, I've always, it's funny. I was little and I would ask my aunts, my uncles, I knew where everyone was at the day he died. It was like, and I
Wow.
wasn't even born yet, but I was just, it's a fascination I've always,
Fascinated.
yeah.
Oh, pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last question out of everything. I know you like Los Bukis a lot. Who comes second?
Who comes second of Los Bukis? That's a hard one because I have, I would say Alejandro Fernandez. Maybe.
Alejandro, not Vicente.
No, I don't care for Vicente.
Well, okay, we'll edit that.
Before I get the haters. No, I don't care. I've never cared for Vicente.
Really?
I would say it's a tie between Alejandro and Pepe.
Pepe.
Right? I
Pepe.
love Pepe.
Pepe. Are you, so, banda or mariachi?
Banda. Banda, but I'll do mariachi too.
All right. Hip hop or reggaeton?
Hip hop,
Football or baseball?
baseball,
All right. Baseball or basketball?
basketball.
Okay. Okay. Last question. What's one strong core value that you have?
One's core value is that I am, to a fault, I am me. So I don't waver whether it's good or bad. I am who I am, and
That's
That's-
Anabella Jimenez.
I'm straightforward. Yeah,
There you go.
and it's not good, but it is good. You know, because I think that's what's helped me throughout. Because I have these conversations sometimes on the phone with my clients, and Jazz is like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, Jazz. I mean, it's not we're not here to tell them what they want to hear. It's what you need to hear, and that's why you're hiring me. So it helps.
Old script. You want me to tell you what you want to hear? You want me to tell you the truth?
Yeah, and I always say that. That's my famous thing. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. It's what you need to hear. Do I have your permission? Yeah. Okay.
Boom. Anabella Jimenez, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
It's
you,
been a pleasure.
Jesus. Amazing.
And, that's it for this. Chopped it up with Anabella Jimenez.
Awesome.